The easiest way of getting rid of your panic attacks is by buying a Range Rover. If you can just buy a Range Rover, then you can say bye bye to your panic attacks. Now, you don't actually have to buy a Range Rover in this three-dimensional reality. You can just do it in your mind and it is going to have the same effect. This is an amazing thing that you will discover if you're acquainted with a spiritual law. That spiritual law is imagination creates reality. This law has been used by ancient yogis in order to heal all kinds of their mental pain. This was also propounded by a Western spiritual teacher in 20th century named Neville Goddard. And this principle, imagination creates reality, this law is so changeless, it's so eternal that upon this principle, everything in this universe depends. You have to understand that the universe that you can perceive with your five senses is actually immaterial. It is mental and it is spiritual. If you can elevate your state of consciousness, your physical reality will also upgrade, including your own biology. If you can just change the state of your mind, you will change the state of your health. You will no longer have panic attacks. Now, the reason why I say that you need to buy a Range Rover in your imagination is because if you're currently inflicted with panic attacks, I assume you're not doing really well financially. At least you don't have, I don't know, $1 million. But if you start to buy a Range Rover in your imaginary act, and beside you there's a girl or a boy that you have been wanting to date, and you're talking about how things have been wonderful for you, that you're finally able to buy your dream car, you're finally able to be with this person, and you don't even have any kind of mental pain, you're not taking any kind of medications for panic attacks, you have finally cancelled all of your therapy, then that imagination becomes really powerful. So, I'm going to give you 3 steps in order to make your imagination reality. The first step is relaxation. Chant Om and you will relax. If you just chant Om for 20 minutes, what happens is parasympathetic nervous system of your body starts to be stimulated, and in yogic perspective, chanting Om also directly affects the energy body of your system, which is directly going to heal your mental body and your physical body. I have personally known people who have simply healed their panic attacks simply by chanting Om 20 minutes a day, 2 times a day for 3 months. They didn't even need to do the second and third step of my meditation process. But people are not lucky. So you should do all of these 3 steps regularly. What happens is, if you chant Om for 20 minutes, your brain will naturally start to produce alpha waves and theta waves. Alpha waves is going to help you visualize correctly, and theta waves is going to make you very suggestible to your own auto suggestions. When you're in theta waves, your subconscious mind is wide open. So I have a video on how to chant Om correctly. You can watch that video and chant Om along with me. It's a 20 minutes video. After you chant Om for about 20 minutes, what you have to do is you start to imagine that all of your desires are fulfilled, that that you're finally the person that you want to become, and you're finally doing the things that you want to do, and you're finally buying the things that you want to buy. Imagine that you're already healed. Imagine that you no longer have panic attacks. Imagine that you're now confident. Imagine that you're now relaxed, peaceful, happy, joyful. How is that person going to walk? How is that person going to act? How is that person going to view the world? Start to imagine that in extreme detail. Are you going to talk to people differently? Start to imagine that. Are your friends and family going to treat you differently? Are they going to compliment you on how you have changed as a person, how peaceful you have become? Hear that in your imaginary scenario. Are you going to tell your friends and family that, hey guys, you don't need to worry about me anymore? I'm fucking healed. I'm completely healed. I've canceled my therapy sessions. I don't take drugs anymore. Are you going to say that? Imagine that. Are you going to buy a Range Rover now that you're free mentally? Are you going to squeeze the juice out of the physical pleasures by buying Range Rover, by dating people that you want to date? Start to imagine that. Start to see Range Rover's steering wheel in your hand. Start to imagine that beside you there's a wonderful boy or a girl that you want to date, and you're touching their hair, you're touching them, they are touching you, they are telling that you're so calm, you're so peaceful, you're so confident, you're so joyful. How did you become like this? And you're just hearing all of this with amazing feelings. When you provide sensory modalities to your imaginary act, the things that you see, the things that you can hear, the things that you can smell, the things that you can taste, the things that you can touch to your imaginary scenario, when you provide all of these modalities to your imaginary scenario, that imaginary scenario becomes very real to your mind. Now, your brain starts to create neural networks which reflect like those experiences, those imaginary scenarios have already happened to you in real time. How cool is that? So, if you completely immerse yourself into that imaginary scenario, don't imagine as if you're watching some movie. Start to place yourself in the imaginary scenario in the first person. Start to become the actor of that imaginary scenario. And you just do it over and over again in your mind. Start to mentally rehearse over and over again in your mind. There will come a moment when the neural networks start to become hard and set, and suddenly these neural networks are going to send a rush of chemicals down your body. Now, these chemicals are going to create feelings inside of your body. These feelings are going to be equivalent to your imaginary scenario. Since your imaginary scenario is amazing because you're amazing and you're doing all the amazing things in that scenario, you're going to feel all the amazing feelings, all the elevated emotions of joy, of gratitude, and of empowerment. And now these feelings are the secret. These feelings actually breathe life into your imaginary scenario. Your imagination in and of itself is weak. But if you feel the emotions of your desired future, then suddenly that imagination becomes reality. Now your only job is to sustain these elevated emotions for a extended period of time, and you're good at it because right now you can sustain the emotion of tragedy, emotions of anxiety. Simply, nothing has to happen to you. You're just simply sustaining the emotion of anxiety because you have practiced feeling anxiety for so long that you're really good at it. So start showing up every day. Start doing the three steps: relaxation, visualization, and feeling the emotions of your visualization every day. Start to do this three step meditation process before you go to bed at night, after you wake up, whenever you get free time in your day, because this thing really works. We do not have to be the victims of our environment. We do not have to be the victims of our genetics. We don't have to become the victim of our life because we are actually the creators. The Bible says that we are all made in the image of God. So start acting like one. The kingdom of heaven lies inside of you. All the happiness, all the emotions, all the wonderful emotions lies inside of you. The Upanishads say, Aham Brahmasmi, which means I am the source of creation. So start doing all of these things because you really have all the power. Stop giving power to the world because right now you're giving power away to the world. You believe in all kinds of stupid things. But if you just believe that your imagination, if properly made real, can create reality, then that is your true power. Start to believe in your true power, and you will change your life by changing your mental health, by doing everything that you want to do. But it's not going to be easy because in order to feel the emotions of your desired future, your attention span has to be really keen. You have to be able to hold your attention on a particular mental imagery for an extended period of time. But right now, because of TikToks, because of YouTube short, because of Instagram reels, because of all the content that you consume because of drugs, alcohol, instant gratification. Everything is taking attention away from you. People have an attention span of a goldfish, but if you just do these three steps every day, your attention is gradually going to become longer and longer and longer. And finally, one day you will be able to hold attention on a particular mental imagery where you are the person that you want to become and you are doing the things that you want to do for an extended period of time, and you're going to feel all the emotions of that desired future, and you can rest assured because everything that you have imagined will come to life. At least challenge me, at least do these three things to prove me wrong, and I will stop making these videos. But do it for your own sake because you're going to change your life. I have made a ton of videos on how to completely overcome your panic attacks, but if you still feel like you cannot do it alone, then I have my Gmail, my Viber, my Telegram, my WhatsApp in the description box down below. Message me, and then we can get started right away. You have to remember that the sky is the limit. Once you truly know how to relax, imagine correctly, and feel the emotions of your desired future correctly. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next time.